welcome into BNT Sports Talk Show. I'm your boy T, here with none other than the greatest of all time, B himself in the building. We're here to
Man, that's so
discuss.
kind of you to say.
I know,
Thank
right?
you.
I'm trying to. I had a hard nap. I just woke up from maybe 30, 45 minutes ago. So my voice sounds a little weird. It's because everything in my entire body was asleep. But welcome in. We're gonna cover everything in the sports world today. Some NCAA football, some NFL football, even a little sprinkle of women's college basketball. How about that? But thanks for joining us. If this is your first time listening to us, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit the like button on the video. We appreciate it. Hit the notification button as well. It only takes less than a second of your time. Just go ahead and hit that button. Oh man, well B, how you feeling, man? A long weekend of sports. We had football Saturday and today and tomorrow and Wednesday, and it just keeps going and going. How you doing, man?
I mean, it's the greatest time of the year, right?
Yeah,
You got the holidays. We get to overeat we're on our second month of overeating, to say the least, and now we get to sit on the couch and watch football, be in our favorite sweatpants, a sweater. Like you, take a powerful nap that you may never recover from. I mean, you can't ask for a better time right now, right? Except for yesterday's college football playoff games. That was sucked. Man, all the hype around it, and it just turned into a dud.
Yeah, it just seemed like the extension from 8 to 12 teams did not help anyone at all. They were not watchable games, and I was trying to keep the multi-screen up so I could keep an eye on the college game while watching the NFL games yesterday, but eventually I just gave up because the scores were too high.
I would have too, because the rest of the teams in the college football playoffs gave up too.
Yeah, it wasn't very entertaining at all. Well, let's jump into it, man. Usually, folks, we start with the NFL and cover our teams. I'm a Raider fan. B's a Ravens fan. And we also talk about, the team that's in the Bay, which is the 49ers. The Raiders have since left and are now in Nevada, in Vegas, of course. But let's start with your team, man. Let's start off on a high note. I definitely got a chance to watch this game because this was a big game yesterday between two teams that were vying for, for playoff positioning, really.
Yep.
This was a huge win for the Ravens, who were 10-5. After the win got to 10-5, they brought Pittsburgh back down to earth with them. So now they are tied with Pittsburgh. And to be honest with you, I mean, I really thought the Ravens looked like the better team throughout most of this game. Man, I'm curious what you have to say about it. I thought Lamar Jackson looked excellent as a pocket passer in this game. I mean, he was throwing some dimes.
He was. The touchdown pass to the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, Bateman had one. Yeah, that was just
that was a dime.
He's starting to really, or I guess we say this about him every season. I think he's an MVP candidate, or has been an MVP candidate for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
But this year in particular, he really is sticking in the pocket, and it's paying some dividends. But in some games, it's a little irritating to watch. But this game, it worked out well. The Steelers defense did not have an answer for him, or Derrick Henry for that matter, who went absolutely berserk. Derrick Henry did everything except score a touchdown. 24 carries, 162, almost 7 yards a carry. And the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, which is usually pretty dang good, especially in the games against the Ravens, this time just didn't have it. And they got stomped on, man. They got stomped on pretty good.
Normally these kind of games are like 16-7, 16-14, real close games. But man, Baltimore turned it on in a different way offensively. Lamar Jackson probably had one of his better games passing. His passer rating was 115. Quarterback rating 67.5. Really, really good game. One interception, was just a terrible throw on his end here. But I mean, when you watch this team long enough, you kind of expect that from him at least once a game, especially in a rivalry game like that. But the defense really stepped up for them here when Lamar gave the ball back to the Steelers. The Ravens then took it right back from Russell Wilson on a pick 6 by Humphrey. So this was a very big win. Obviously, they're still tied with the Steelers. Steelers hold the head-to-head because of their better record against the same teams that the Ravens have played as well. But the Steelers still need to play Kansas City, and that happens on Christmas
Yeah.
Day. The Ravens do have to go to Houston. I think that should be a really good matchup as well. Another high-scoring game. But if the Ravens can find a way to steal this game in Houston and the Steelers lose to Kansas City, the Ravens have the chance to host a wild card game at home. So that opportunity is still there. You mentioned Lamar Jackson being an MVP. He's having a really good year. This is not the year for him to be kind of considered for MVP.
Yeah.
In light of everyone else who's playing, you have Jared Goff, you have Josh Allen. Who else are we thinking? Saquon Barkley. There are some really big individual seasons happening right now. Lamar Jackson's having a really good one, but when you think of his season compared to what the other guys are doing, I can't say he's going to be the MVP of the league here. I really do, but I don't see it happening here for that. So, but these are the kind of games that hopefully takes them to that next level that we have been waiting to see the Ravens take. It's all going to matter when you get into the playoffs, man, because if you can at least host one game, then your divisional game is probably going to be against the Buffalo Bills, right? And then you get it's Kansas City. It's going to be either or. Your divisional game will be either Kansas City or Buffalo. So you got to pick the less of evils. They beat the Bills, but they lost to the Chiefs here on opening night here. So it's going to be a toss up.
And that's always the issue, right? With the Ravens is what are they going to do when they actually get to the playoffs?
Exactly.
The other thing is, depending upon how the Steelers play, you may end up hosting the Steelers. I mean, we don't know who's going to come out in the wild card at this point because you've got them, you've got the Chargers, you've got the Broncos. There's some teams that are in the mix there to make some noise. And so it's going to be a tough wild card no matter who the Ravens draw. But they've shown themselves to be pretty good throughout the year. If they can keep that consistency, especially offensively, I think they'll definitely be a tough team to beat. Now, on the other side, we are kind of seeing the Steelers kind of falter a little bit here. They
got the 10 wins. That's all once they get the 10, it just kind of folds after that.
Yeah. And the thing with the Steelers is once they get in the playoffs, anything can happen. They've been to the Super Bowl twice as a wild card. So it's not outside of the realm possibility for them to make some noise out of a lesser seed. But this was not a great game for them at all. Russell Wilson he had an okay game, but we also have to remember that they're missing their top wide receiver in Pickens. So maybe had a little bit harder time trying to get or find guys that are open. I mean, well, who's that? Who's that showed up in this game? Calvin Austin, I think.
Calvin Austin, the third, showed up to this game.
But other than that, they really don't have a lot of guys he can really spread the ball out to. So we'll see. Once they get their best wide receiver back, the Steelers will probably be where they want to be. And I think this is shaping up to be a dang good playoffs, man. I mean, there's a lot of winning teams in the AFC. So it's not like it was before where you just got to crap on half the teams in the division. There's some really good teams that are vying for an opportunity. Even the Bengals, who have been playing better as of late, are good.
How? How?
They're on the outside looking in right now. So yeah, there's some good comp waiting for whoever is making it to the playoffs.
It's a good year for playoffs and maybe for your division when one division in each conference is going to send 3 teams to the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's how good it is. The NFC North could send 3 teams.
Yep.
The AFC North has a chance to send 3 teams. The AFC West has a chance to send 3 teams as well. That is crazy to think of. At one point, the NFC West could have sent 3 teams. Then they all just beat up on each other. So now only one team.
Now it's just Kansas City.
Now it's just no. They have the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Not the Bills. They have the Chargers.
Yes.
The Chargers are the outside looking in.
Yeah.
The Denver Broncos right now have a wild card spot. They do own that one. But what I'm saying is the NFC West had a chance to send 3 in. And then they said, you know what? We're just going to beat up on each other and everyone be a 500 team and said, we'll only send 1 team into the dance.
Yeah, they did beat the crap out of each other to the point that the Rams, who were at the bottom of that division,
are now at the top.
Just made it to the top. And I got to say, I've watched the Rams play. It's not exciting. I mean, there's nothing crazy going on with the Rams are doing. They're playing some good defense, but their offense is not nearly as productive as it once
They
was.
are getting better though. They
They're
are
getting
getting
better,
better.
yes, okay, but they're not. They're not. You know, come on. They're not world beaters right now. I guess what I'm trying to say is they better be careful in that first wild card game. That's all I'm saying. Because if you know, they might. I don't know if they're going. It's going to be a tough out for them. Whoever they end up playing, if they win that division, whoever they end up playing out of the wild card is going to be probably. They're probably going to be an underdog.
Yeah. So it's it's good to see. This is great football here, but the Ravens still have a lot of work to do. They did clinch a playoff bid, so that's all that matters. Now it all depends is if you're going to be traveling all playoffs or will you host at least a wild card game. So this is kind of where they're at. There's still a lot to play for with that there.
Yeah.
Like I said, they get Houston, and then I think I'm trying to see who their last game is against here. Give me just a sec. My system's
For
loading
the
it
Ravens,
up. Yeah, their last game. It's the Texans, and then
the
it
Texans.
is
Hold
the
on, hold on.
Browns. The Browns.
Oh, the Dookie Browns.
The Dookie Browns. So they'll be hosting the Browns.
That's not a game.
Yeah, well, I mean, they lost to them already, and that was Jameis Winston's first game. So you just never,
Yeah,
you
well,
never
they're
know.
not. They don't even have Jameis Winston anymore. They're rolling the rookie out there and
No, he's second year
second year. I'm
quarterback.
sorry.
DTR
And
went
he
to
didn't look. He
went to the
looked.
terrible school of UCLA and showed because he sucks at quarterback.
I can give him a
So
chance. This is his first start.
no, not giving him no chance. He went to UCLA. He went to a school in Southern California. You
Oh
know
my
how I feel
goodness,
about that kind of
the
stuff.
hate is real.
I wouldn't call it hate. It's my love language. I love it.
Good, but so let's talk about the Raiders. The Raiders went in. I thought played a very competitive game. They got the win. It was great to see AOC back out there. Aiden O'Connell, made some plays for them. Made one huge play where he escaped the of the rush, got out to the left and throw a ball to, I believe it was was it Trey Tucker? May have been Trey Tucker. Actually, no. Trey Tucker had the long ball that was close to the end zone before they scored a touchdown. So big play there. Then he had one I think that went to Abdullah later in the game, and he was making plays. I got to give it to him, and I really like what I saw again. I really hate the fact that he didn't get a chance to start all season. That it took so long for the Raiders to commit to him as the starting quarterback. I thought this would have been the year to figure out if this young guy would be the one to take over as a Raider quarterback going forward, but we never really gave him that full opportunity. We really tried to ride Gardner Minshew, who that was a crap show. That did not work at all. But that being said, the Raiders got it done against Mac Jones and company because obviously Trevor Lawrence is.
Well, he's still on another planet right now.
He's with us and I don't want to say in spirit. He's not dead, but he's
Damn.
at home. He's at home. He may come back with a haircut, is all I'm saying.
He'd come back with a Britney Spears haircut and just
Exactly.
shave all his head off.
Right. Just shave it right down the middle. You know what I'm saying? That's how their season is gone. I'm so surprised their coach hasn't been fired yet, but I'm sure it's coming.
How is that still possible? Jesus Christ, man, this game was boring.
Hey, no, can I finish? Hold on.
Go ahead.
Aiden O'Connell finished with 257 yards. I thought he played very well. Brock Bowers continues to impress. He's going to be a Raider forever at this point if we can keep him. And then, outside of that, I mean, really it was Aiden O'Connell only threw to running backs and tight ends this game. For the most part.
Because there's no wide receivers.
So that was pretty much the game in a nutshell. The defense, of course, you're playing against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They did an okay job of they really weren't doing a great job of getting to the quarterback in this one. But they were able to get stops when they needed them, and got some field goals, got a touchdown, baby. What more can you ask for? So good win by the Raiders, but bad win by the Raiders because now you don't have the top pick anymore. You've now conceded that to the New York Giants, who probably aren't going to win another game. There's only 2 weeks left, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, good job on that there. And I bet you they said AP was blaring music and smoking cigars. Nothing like smoking cigars on your third win of the year after losing the last 10, to say the least here.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't know what to say about this here. All I know is that the Raiders had a chance to lock in that number one overall pick to really do some things with it. I'm on tankathon.com right now. They dropped them all the way down to the number 6 pick. Come on. Now the top here's how the draft order goes as is. If the draft order happened tomorrow, you got the New York Giants with the number one overall pick because they had 2 wins. Doesn't really say much. The New England Patriots, the Jags, Tennessee, Cleveland, and then your Las Vegas Stinkers are in the top 6 right now here. But you know what's crazy?
What was that?
You know what they're predicting the last 2 picks to be?
What?
The Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions. This website thinks that both those teams are going to end up in the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Oh, okay. I mean, that would be a good Super Bowl, but there are some other teams that are going to have something to say about that. Like
Look, man,
Philly, the Bills. I mean, there's some teams that are balling right now. The Vikings.
Well, I don't know. Philly took a big blow today. They took a big blow today.
Yeah, well, their course because they lost their quarterback to a concussion, which will definitely going to hurt them. But I think they've got a good lead in their division at this point. Is there anybody that's even well, the Washington?
Yeah, but they split with Washington because Washington went in and got their asses handed to them in Philly. But I mean, look, at this point, I guess you're trying to ride a season high. You want to maybe win a couple more games if you're a Raider player here. But man, we keep talking about it every year or every day or every week that we're on this show is, what are they needed to tank and what are they going to do? And now we're stuck here going, well, you ruined that opportunity here.
So draft somebody that's going to end up playing well on another team.
Yeah, I mean, look, they hit a home run with Brock Bowers here. He's the tight end of the future there. I think that they're good there. Obviously, they need to go get a wide receiver here because they decided not to throw to one of them today here, to say the least. So you got to really look at this wide receiver class. I don't really think it's strong. We'll have to dive a little deeper into that to see who's available in this class here. But I mean, you guys really shot yourselves in the foot with this one, man.
Yeah, well, it's just like last year, a little bit of pride at the end of the season. And I understand they're still playing. I'm surprised Mark Davis didn't give the call like, hey, pull Aiden O'Connell and put Riddler back in there and, let's tank this thing for the rest of the season. But, tanking is illegal. You're not supposed to do it, at least not for it to be deliberate. But if you notice around the league, most teams are taking out their starting quarterbacks that are in the bottom of the divisions here. You looked at what the Browns did. The Browns, they took out their second string quarterback, really, but they took out Jameis Winston because Jameis Winston, unfortunately, was helping them win games, and that was not what they needed to do. So they put in the next guy. Same thing for New England's got
Drake May. But I think they're just trying to figure out. That's a different situation. They were sucking from the get-go.
Yeah. They're trying to figure out if this guy is worth keeping. So I get that part. But yeah, I don't. We'll see, man. I'm surprised Derek Carr. Is Derek Carr going to play? I mean, I guess they still have a chance in their division somehow. I don't
know. No, they don't. But I'm sure Derek Carr's going to play, though.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
You're not going to send Spencer Rattlesnake Rattler out there.
That's right, the Rattlesnake.
For that there. But yeah, man. I mean, look, 10 losses in a row, and all you need to do is lose 3 more to secure that number 1 overall pick. The Raiders don't hide losing. That's for sure here. When you look at some of their losses, 20-15 to the Rams, 27-20 to the Chiefs, 34-19, 19-17, 15-9.
Yeah.
So I mean, they could easily have 6 wins right now when you really look at it.
Yeah.
Out of those games, they could at least have 6, but
no offense, man. No offense.
What do you mean? But you got Brock Bowers. Woo! Tight end central.
Yeah, but no touchdowns. Who's going to throw it to him? That's been the problem all season. Gardner Minshew, didn't work out. Aiden O'Connell, he gets hurt. It's been a pretty rough season for the Las Vegas Raiders. I could just tell you that right now.
There's nothing like having a quarterback carousel in the middle of the season here when you're trying to at least win a game, and you're just like, nope, send him in. Nope, he threw an interception. Nope, send the other guy in. Nope, Send him in. Oh, he's hurt. Send the other guy in.
Yeah, they need to just
No.
pour kerosene on this thing and burn it down.
They
Start all over.
can't. If Mark Davis put it all over his body, they can't.
Start all over. Is that why he looks like that? Anyway,
I would assume so, man. He went from Michael, or he looked like Sammy Sosa now when Sammy Sosa got his skin all bleached out.
I gotta look him up, man. He still got that bowl wig on.
Yeah. He still got that. Man. He still got the gold Jerry curls.
Dude, isn't that? Do you remember Uncle Fester from Addams Family? It's the same wig he wore. It's the same wig.
I think
Uncle Fester wore whenever he was getting married to, what was her name? Debbie? Remember?
Yeah.
In the movie?
Yeah.
Why would you want to imitate that anyway?
I don't know. That's quite disgusting if you ask me.
So let's move on to the 49ers.
Let's talk about something more disgusting.
49ers are officially eliminated. I believe they were eliminated earlier in the day.
Yeah, they were eliminated before the game started.
Yeah, before it even started. And this was not a very pretty game either. They gave it a good college effort. The sentiment seemed to be give Deebo Samuel the ball a lot, and they definitely did that. They got him the ball, and he actually had himself a nice little game. He had himself a good game. 7 receptions, 96 yards, and a touchdown. George Kittle was the lead receiver with 106 on 8 receptions. Weren't able to really run the ball because, well, they don't have any running backs anymore. So
Brock Purdy was your they had 4 carries for 26 yards.
What the hell? What's going on there? Now, they weren't exactly playing the best defense in the world here, but I gotta tell you, man, the hit that Calais Campbell put on Brock Purdy before that interception was just terrible. I mean, I felt so bad for the guy. We'll talk about some other pretty rough hits later after we get through this game. But, man, the Dolphins really didn't have any, they didn't really have a dog in the fight here. They've got an outside chance of winning their division, I guess. Not winning. They're not winning the division. Wild card. They had a chance to get in the playoffs. And, they definitely playing better. But I got to say, man, thanks wrong with Tyreek Hill, man. He had 3 balls bounce off his chest and hands today.
Yeah, in the first quarter, he pointed to his visor like he couldn't see, and I'm like, "What do you mean the ball hit you right in your hands?" Like that'd be one of the worst excuses I've ever seen a wide receiver give.
Yeah, my eyes.
It literally went right through his hands, and he hit him in his hands.
Yeah.
And just say you missed the ball, dude. Don't come up with that was a weak ass excuse.
Yeah, man. Then he had one in the end zone, but the ball was right on him. And he just like whiffed.
No, I think it was Jarvarius or it was Ward. Yeah, Ward got a little bit of a hand
with
on
his fingernail.
Doesn't matter. It threw it.
I'm sorry. No. I'm gonna give Ward I don't hear us saying that about Justin Jefferson. Okay, so I'm not gonna all of a sudden put Tyreek Hill in the second tier wide receiver slot unless he's asking for it. That should be a catch. And I'm just thinking it just really doesn't look like he wants to play, in my opinion. I think after having such a woeful first half to the season, it's almost like this guy spent the first 6 games eating hot dogs and corn dogs and Gatorades and hitting 7-Elevens every other week. And then all of a sudden it was like Tua came back and was like, okay, y'all, let's go to the playoffs. He was like, and start cleaning the crumbs off his chest and went out there.
Spat out that hot dog that he was chewing. He goes, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and play.
He just doesn't look ready is all I'm saying. He doesn't look like he's in top form. It kind of showed itself throughout a majority of the game. He did have the 1 touchdown reception, but
it was 2 yards out.
Exactly. He just didn't look like the same guy. So I thought that was interesting. He needs to get it together. I guess he's given up on the season. Who didn't give up on the season was a chain. Who is it? A cane or a chain?
A chain.
He came to play.
I came to play. I came to play.
And it was. I just want to point out that B is Asian. So before
I was channeling
in the comments.
I know, right? I was channeling my inner Wu-Tang. Okay, everybody relax. Jesus Christ! Before y'all lose your minds over that.
So he had 120 yards, 1 touchdown, and it was kind of surprising to see the 49ers just get Boston just beat up. I mean, they ran the ball like 20 straight times at the end of this game. The last one
Yeah.
being a touchdown, and they had no answer for it at all. Keep in mind before that touchdown, this was a 5 point game. So
Yeah, the
the night,
Niners had the ball to win it and
yeah,
then dropped it. Check that tattoo. Anthony Loya says, check that tattoo. Which one? This one? You want to see the Asian guy on there? Look, it's right there. Look, right
there
there.
he is.
That's my Wu-Tang man right there. Shout out to him.
Oh man. But
uh,
yeah, man, I just think it's unfortunate. We talked about it last week. They had so many injuries that hit them this season, from Brendan Ayuk to
Christian
Christian
McCaffrey,
McCaffrey, which was a
Trent
huge one.
Williams.
And it just wasn't their year. This just wasn't the year. So it'll be interesting again to see, and we'll definitely talk about it as we get into the offseason, whether they decide to retool and what changes the 49ers decide to make to get themselves back into the championship conversation. Because right now, it's almost time to make business decisions. It's time to put in backup quarterbacks. It's time
Yeah.
to it's time to get home to your family and
God
friends.
bless it. You beat me to the damn question here because I was going to ask you, do the Niners bench Brock Purdy for the rest of the year?
Oh yeah. Oh
Let's let Brandon Allen and the hairless one, Josh Dobbs,
yeah.
just take it over from here. You got nothing to, dude. Detroit's about to come in here and absolutely demolish
Oh yeah.
this team here.
You've seen what Detroit does to bad teams. I mean, they have no ounce of.
They may want to
stomp
flex this. They may want to flex this Monday night game because it ain't gonna be pretty. They may want to flex this one here, for that.
Yeah.
But before we answer this question here, Aunt Loya, he's wonderful girlfriend. Katrina, her birthday's this week, so let's give Katrina a very big birthday shout out. They're gonna be celebrating on the East Coast for her birthday, so shout out to Katrina
yeah.
for her birthday here.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Are there? She's a Chargers fan. Do they play anytime soon?
Yeah,
Real
sure
quick.
next week.
Is it next week or is it tomorrow night?
No. Tomorrow night we got New
Oh
Orleans.
no, they played on Thursday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm sorry. They beat
Did they win?
Denver. Yeah, they beat Denver.
Did they?
Yeah.
Am I missing something?
Yeah, you're missing a Thursday night game.
Katrina, the Chargers still suck, so take that with you, all right?
Yeah, the Chargers beat Denver. Great game, by the way.
Yeah.
So they good for the Chargers. They are solid in the wild card slot for the moment.
Anyways, back to the Brock Purdy conversation. I think they need to bench him. I think look, the hit that he took from Calais Campbell, you have to sit there and look and go, I have a contract here coming up. I have to get paid. I'm sitting my ass down.
Yeah.
The Niners aren't going in. Their draft order is going to be within the top 10. So you're not going to really change your positioning with these next two games. You're not beating Detroit, so that's a damn sure. Detroit's got something to prove after losing that game too in the NFC Championship. So I guarantee you they're coming to Levi's and they're going to wipe the floor with the 49ers that night too. So you're just going to have to say, hey, this is our franchise quarterback. We have some negotiating to do. We need to figure this out.
Yeah.
So might as well just sit there and say, hey, Brock, sit this one out. Let's start talking contract now after the season. Brock Purdy had a great year for what he had to deal with. I would say this was one of the challenges that I was looking for him to take. He took it head on here. I think he did fantastic for what he had to work with here. I'll give him that. It's just like we talked about the injuries, the fact that the Niners have played deep postseason football for the last 5 years. All right. It takes a toll on players here. Yeah. So if I think that caught up to them as well. This schedule was one of the toughest schedules that they've had in a very, very long time here. They went to Buffalo the first week of December, got absolutely smoked. You're asking me to go to the East Coast, back to the East Coast at the end of the year to go to Miami where it's hot as hell. I'm not saying they got beat, but you don't have all your star power there. Right. It was a tough sledding for them this year. So I'm not trying to create excuses for them, but when you look at the body of work that they've had to do over the last 5 years, then have a schedule like this, and not have your star players around for the majority part of the year, this is kind of the result here. So sucks to suck.
Yeah, more or less, right? Yeah, it
Yeah.
sucks to suck. But again, they've got plenty of talent. They'll be able to bounce back. They're just gonna have to get the players that they had, that they were missing healthy. And I think if they do that, that's enough for them to get in the playoffs. If they get Christian McCaffrey back healthy,
McCrappy? Is that what
yeah,
you were gonna call him?
no,
McCrappy?
I'm not gonna do that to him.
No, I
But
wouldn't.
if they get those guys back healthy, they're in the playoffs. It's just a matter
I-
of having them healthy from the onset, the beginning of the season, throughout the season. That includes Brendan Ayuk, who I still think is kind of a wash, but we'll see if he can come back next season and be a little better.
well, you can't wash $180 million, so you stuck with that crap.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about
Um,
his performance, not his paycheck. But
well, they're both crap. How's that?
let's can we talk? Let's talk about some other games. So I'm curious. Did you watch the Kansas City game? Kansas City
I
played the
did.
Houston Texans, which
Yeah.
pretty spirited. I thought it was a great game. Unfortunately, Tank Dell had one of the nastiest
Oof.
injuries of the entire
Oh,
season. Pretty much snapped his knee, folks, and
oh, God, it was
was
gross.
hit by another player. But my man held on to the football for the touchdown,
Yeah.
which I think is
Yeah, he
even
did.
more amazing than anything else. If I had snapped my leg in half, I probably would have screamed like a girl and thrown the ball into the first row of fans. But he did not. He caught the ball. He landed and immediately signaled to the sideline that he wasn't going to be up anymore. So that was a
Yeah. Yeah.
tough thing to watch. But other than that, this was one of the few games where Kansas City didn't have to win on a field goal. Their offense actually put up some numbers this time out. Um, I've said it all year. I'm going to continue to say it. The Kansas City Chiefs, if you did not know, have the best defense in the NFL. Okay. I know people don't really watch them as much, and most folks are going to hate on them for, because they're the top team. But their defense doesn't let anyone score more than 20 points. They've been
Yeah.
doing this all season. Okay? It Patrick Mahomes don't even do anything anymore. I mean, Patrick Mahomes hasn't had a game over 300 yards, and if he has, maybe once or twice all season. He hasn't done anything special this year at all. But somehow they continue to win. You look at their run game, nothing special. Their throwing game, nobody's over 100 yards. How are these guys even winning games? It's because their defense.
Yeah. It's shocking how they're still pulling stuff out of their ass the way that they're doing here. But look, you find ways to win games. In the NFL, it doesn't matter. Ugly wins are ugly wins. It doesn't change the outcome. The only thing that adds is an extra W in your win column. So
Yeah.
you need those at that point there. And yeah, we were giving them that they were probably the worst 13-1 team because of how lucky they got. On Saturday, that was no luck. That was a
No.
pure ass whooping that they handed the Texans. Do I think Tank Dell's injury changes it? Absolutely not here. Because they were already down big before Tank Dell got hurt. So
Yeah.
I just don't think, but that's the last thing this league needs is the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs were pussyfooting around for 14 weeks of the
Yeah.
season,
Offensively, yeah.
and now they're going to turn it on. And
Yeah.
now they're just going to start blowing teams out of the water. They got Hollywood Brown back.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins, you still have to mind him on the field. The dude's got hands the size of California, to say the least. It's very rare that he drops the ball, to say. You got Isaiah Pacheco just came back from injury as well. This is a terrible time for the NFL, for this team to get better. The only thing that can make this worse is Travis Kelce actually starts getting better at football this year
Yeah.
here.
He's a little preoccupied these
He's
days.
been a little preoccupied, but the last thing we need is for him to get it going. And now the Chiefs offense fires on all cylinders. Their defense has been on point all year. I'm trying to see where they rank amongst
Let's
defense
see.
here. Let's see here.
While you're looking that up, but yeah, to speak to that, yeah, and if they can pick up some offensive momentum, as you say, going into the playoffs, and that's just gonna bode well for them. Even with Isaiah Pacheco coming back, you still saw that they're running with more of a two-headed monster between him and Kareem Hunt. So they've got two backs that they trust that can come out the backfield and churn up yardage. The other thing is Pat Mahomes has been pretty good about picking up first downs with his legs, although he's got the ankle injury, so that's also something to look out for. But again, you really don't want this team to start clicking on all cylinders offensively, because we're all just going to throw up in our mouths if they go back to the Super Bowl and win.
Yeah, and
So
the
that's kind
Chiefs
of what it comes down to.
Chiefs defense ranks third going into this week. They're the third ranked defense here. Top three. I'll go top five right now. I have a really hard time believing this right now. Here's your top five total defensive stats. Are you ready for this crap?
Okay, here we go.
The Eagles are one. I
Okay.
see that
All right.
except
All
for
right.
today because they really crapped themselves today. The Niners again before today, I would have said yes, but they've been crapping themselves. This is where shit gets real weird, dude. You ready for this?
Yeah. Okay.
Kansas City is third.
Yeah.
The Texans are fourth.
The Texans.
Guess who has the fifth best overall defense in the league?
Who's that?
The Tennessee Titans.
Oh.
Where are we
I
getting this
mean,
information?
maybe they're good on defense, but
Oh,
they gave up a
so
lot of points today. I don't know.
yeah, they gave up 38 today. Now, granted, they scored 34 or 30, but how does a team with 3 wins have the top five defense in the league?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess
None of
teams
this
are only
makes
beating them
sense.
by 3 points or less or something. I have no idea, man.
So here's their average, right? The Tennessee Titans are averaging 178 yards passing a game. They're averaging 129 yards passing a game. Yet their average points per game are 27.8. Like what? How does that get you fifth in this league?
I don't know, man. They are the conundrum. It has something to do with Will Levis, I'm pretty sure, but they just I don't know. That's a great
Dude,
question, man.
I don't get this,
I don't
man.
know. I don't have an
really
answer for
don't.
that.
This is coming from ESPN, by the way. This is coming from the ESPN. So when you look at defense total stats, it ranks them from 1 to 32, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, 1 being the best.
Yes.
The Eagles are on top up until today. Jacksonville Jaguars are last, so you know that's damn true. Carolina's second to last. New Orleans, basically the entire AFC and NFC South. All but 2 teams are down at the bottom. I wonder why.
Well, they're not very good.
Yeah, you know what, NFL, I got a question, ESPN. How is Tennessee the 5th ranked best defense in this league? It does not make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. They do. I think maybe they have a stingy defense, but they can't score, and
It's collusion.
They're
It's collusion, is what it is. It's collusion.
I don't know. I don't know how that happened to be. That's ridiculous. The Tennessee Titans, if they saw that stat, would probably be surprised. You know what I mean?
But prayers up to Tank Dell. That
Yeah,
was one of
yeah.
the nastiest knee injuries. Hopefully he can recover from his career. We haven't seen an injury like this since Alex Smith broke his leg, and you saw the toll that it took on him.
Yeah.
Did you see the ESPN 30 for 30 or documentary on Alex Smith's recovery?
No, I didn't. No.
Yo, they showed his leg after the infection, and it was disgusting. I advise to watch it. If you have a weak stomach, don't watch it. But what it took to recover from something like that, you hope that Tank Dell does not go through this, because Tank Dell was having a monster year this year before the injury. It's just, man, it was nasty. Watching the bone. Good thing he had pants on, so we didn't have to see his bongo sticking out, because you could see how far it was out of his leg, man.
Yeah,
That was gross.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate situation. Like we said, we wish him the best. Hopefully he recovers as well as possible. But of course, things like that are they're very difficult to see in sporting events. It's almost the worst one I've ever seen was the college player. Remember a long time ago, I want to say about
Which
15
one?
years ago, the college kid who went up to block a shot, came down, his whole leg just kind of snapped.
I kind of
Do you
recall
remember
that.
Yeah,
I
right
kind
on
of
the
recall
court.
that.
They had to throw a towel all over him and stuff. But it's unfortunate to see for a guy who's having such a good season. The Houston Texans are going to miss him for sure because they've already lost Stephon Diggs. So this is going to be a big hit to them going into the playoffs, and we'll see how it goes. But like you said, man, just prayers and blessings to him. I think the other player, we didn't see anything too bad other than I think Justice Hill hit his head on the ground pretty hard and got knocked the crap out. He was out.
Yeah,
with
he
concussion.
did.
I don't think he's going to be coming back anytime soon. But yeah, man.
Can we talk about the game of the day, though, which really pissed me off, but man, was it a fantastic game. The Commanders, sorry, I almost said Redskins, even though I just said it. The Commanders and the Eagles. gave us a
Yeah,
really, really good game. However you want to look at it,
yeah,
Philly came out, absolutely was mopping the floor with
they
the
were, and then Jalen
there.
Hurts gets hurt.
Jalen Hurts gets hurt, gets a concussion. They
Yeah,
were trying to bring him in. He couldn't pass concussion protocol. In comes Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh,
yeah,
washed up, all of that there. Obviously, you could tell the difference between the offense between Hurts and Pickett because once Pickett entered the game, there were no touchdowns to be had from the Eagles. The Commanders proceeded to turn the ball over 5 times in this
yes,
game,
they did. It was like they didn't want to win. Like, I don't know what
but
that
found
was
themselves
about.
winning.
Yeah, it's
Like
like
that
they
was
were like, "Oh yay,
what
Jalen
the
Hurts is
hell?
out. We can do it." And then they were like, what do we do?" It just it was not the greatest game to watch, I must say, just because of some of the mistakes and the fact that Jalen Hurts was out. But the Commanders found themselves in the position at the end of the game to win, and
Yes.
that's what counted most. They needed this game, obviously. You know, they got to keep pace, and that's what they did. But you could really see the youth of Jaden Daniels is showing, and it's been showing for
God,
the past few weeks.
God, I
He's
hated
making
it
some
so much.
pretty ragged plays in these games. He had some trouble with accuracy, and missing some guys, and yeah, it wasn't a very very pretty game to watch, I must say.
Well, obviously Jaden Daniels has Rookie of the Year locked up. I don't. Brock Bowers probably is going to come in at second, but it's not even going to be close to that. There, what we saw Jaden Daniels do today, though, what we haven't seen a lot is he uses legs in big situations here. The 4th and 5, the third down, he ended up running the ball, which we didn't see a whole lot this year up until today, and put him in position to win. And then next thing you know, makes a terrific throw to Terry McLaurin in the end zone to
Yeah,
win the game for
it
them.
was.
So, you know, it, I hated it because I had money on this game and the Eagles, the
That's what they
Eagles,
did.
the Eagles were up 5. I was like, just they could just bend but don't break. And then not only did they bend, but they
Oh,
broke
they
too.
broke in half.
And I'm just like, and it's not like it was a contested pass in the end zone. Dude was wide open, and I'm like, this is how my day's going. Fantastic, geez
Sorry, B.
Louise,
Sorry,
man.
man.
That is what it is. But yeah, big win for the Commanders though. That was really needed there. It's still an outside shot to try to win that division. The Eagles obviously have to lose out. I don't see the Eagles
That's
really
not
doing
happening.
that.
Yeah.
But they are going to be a wild card team. So kudos to them.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of upside with Jaden Daniels running this team here.
Can we talk about what happened to Buffalo today? I mean, they managed to squeak out a win, but they
Oh,
don't
they slept on the Patriots. That's for damn sure. They
they
were
sure
like,
enough like decided that they were going to win this game without even playing. And unfortunately, the New England came in and was like, "Hey, I don't know if you remember, but we used to beat y'all ass every year." And then
exactly.
they just came in and like there was 14-0 in the I think the first quarter, and Buffalo had to recover. And I think you found Josh Allen playing a little harder than he wanted to. There was some talk about him playing with a broken hand. He obviously aggravated that today.
Yeah.
And this was one of those games you want to try to get in and out of quickly. Unfortunately, the Bills found themselves in a dogfight throughout this entire game, and the Patriots really put it to them, especially with their running game. They ran all up and down for the most part, through the Bills. But the Bills, of course, returned the favor. Cook had himself an excellent game. I believe he had 2 TDs in this game, or no, excuse me, that the one touchdown on the long run. But yeah, I was really surprised to see them kind of lackluster in this game, because if they lost this game, they wouldn't have had that shot at that top. They need the shot at that
Yes, they
top
do. They
that
do.
number one seed,
Yep.
and you don't want to drop this game. You go to 12-4, you might as well forget it. You're not going to reach it, because at this point, Kansas City they've already won their game. There's only 2 games left. So the Buffalo had to win this game to even have a
Mm-hmm.
shot, and they have to win out. Otherwise, Buffalo loses any more games. Even if they lose one of the next 2 games, well, Kansas City automatically is going to have home field throughout. So it'd be curious to see how they do the rest of these games. Maybe this wakes them up a little bit. I don't know who they're. I'm going to look just to see who they've got
I've
next on
got
the
their schedule
schedule.
coming up right now.
Oh God, never mind. They got the
Yeah, they're
Jets.
fine.
Yeah. Never mind. They got the Jets, and then
But they
they
needed
got
this. But they really needed this game though because I don't they Kansas City goes to Pittsburgh, right? Kansas City's last two games are on the road in Pitt and then going to Denver.
yeah.
They still have a shot at that number one seed here, but they have to match a Chiefs loss with a Bills win here. So yeah, they almost coughed up a potential number one seed here.
Yeah, they did.
Regardless, they're sitting in the 2 spot, but that bye week does you wonders.
Yeah,
It
to have home field throughout in Buffalo?
Exactly.
Are you kidding me? If they had home field throughout, and we're talking January, folks, in Buffalo throughout the entire playoffs, I don't think there's another team that has a bigger advantage outside of Green Bay. So that would be a huge deal for them. I don't know if they get it done. I'm actually thinking New England. The last game in New England is where New England's going to play the hardest. So I mean, New England might mess this whole thing up for them in that last game.
There's a chance. Watch this. Wait till we see you guys at the end of the year. We're gonna get you this time.
Exactly. We only lost by 3. We're gonna win by 7 next time. But yeah, so we'll see. Man. We'll see how that turns out. I'm trying to see if there are any other games that you kind of caught your eye.
Not really. I mean,
kind of garbage. Arizona crapped all over themselves and lost.
Yeah,
that was stupid. To what? The heck
to
was
the Panthers.
That? What was that?
No. I'm still giving the Panthers credit because they're still playing good.
Yeah,
they're still playing good, even after these close losses. They're still playing good. So I want to give them that credit there.
Yeah, but Arizona is in the sorriest division of them all. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Rams were trying to lose. It seemed like they didn't do anything special against the Jets today, but they won. So that whole division is just garbage, and no team wants to take the lead. Seattle, although had a great effort today, did not get the win against the Vikings. So Seattle drops a game, the Rams win a game, and then, hey, Arizona, would you like to join the party? No, it's okay.
Arizona just eliminated themselves.
Yeah, we're going to eliminate ourselves to one of the worst teams in football. And again, like you said, they're playing better, but record-wise, they're not good. Not good.
All right, let's before we move on to the NBA, let's do our Hunger Games tribute to the teams who have now been eliminated from postseason contention. We will start with the Arizona Cardinals. May they rest in peace and not make the playoffs. The San Francisco 49ers have officially been eliminated.
Go well watching.
From the playoffs here. Who else are we looking at? The Dallas Cowboys have officially been eliminated from playoff contention.
Jerry Jones is still alive.
The New Orleans Saints have been eliminated from playoff contention. Oh, they were just never in it. It took them to eliminate them.
They literally went 2-0 and dumped off the rest of the season.
That'd be one of the most premature things this NFL season has ever seen.
Oh wow, they're 2-0, they're 3-1.
They took the diaper off and shit themselves all over the pants. Yeah, all right. Next week we will have more eliminations as we are getting ready to format the NFL postseason. I cannot wait.
Man, it's going to be fun. I can't wait. It's going to be good.
You ready for some NBA talk? Because, man...
Oh, I'm excited, actually.
We got
my team...
We have a... Go ahead, because I was about to say we have something in common.
Well, I'll start off with saying that my Lakers, okay, although they've been up and down, and quite honestly, they're going to be up and down throughout most of the season. I'm not going to sit here and tell you they're going to get out of the 7th seed. That's probably where they're going to be most of the season. Somewhere between the 7th and 10th. It's going to go up and down, just like it did last year.
Playing tournament.
I'm telling you. And the hope is that they make it to 7th so that they can avoid the play-in tournament. But, you brought back LeBron James. He took some time off. Bronny James starts playing well in the G League. And then his dad's like, you know what? I can't let my son outdo me. He played pretty well in the past 2 games. Of course, they played Sacramento twice. That helps. And they so now they play the Kings twice. So now they're in a position to where they can at least go on a little bit of a run after winning a couple of games in a row. They're going to be at home for a little while. We got the Detroit Pistons coming up, who are not a very good team and have not
You
been for
lost to
quite a
them
long time.
already.
Yeah, yeah, but
Don't
they're
forget,
okay.
you guys
Whatever.
lost to
All
them
right,
already.
well, whatever. But still, they're not a good team. Um,
Whatever.
so I think my Lakers are going to put it together. I think what the thing I've been complaining about most is the fact that LeBron James has had a very difficult time trying to be a part of this offense, and given the fact that he is older in age, he cannot carry them. So when he attempts to do so, it looks bad, and we saw a lot of that earlier on in when they went on that you know road trip where they just crapped the bed all over themselves. Is because LeBron is trying to do something he no longer can. He's got to make himself a cog in the system. He's got to set screens for other guys. He's got to play a traditional four position where he's catching the ball in the post and working out of the post a little bit more. It's like I said, setting screens and cutting to the basket, making himself both a distributor and a guy who can finish at the rim, and limit some of his top of the key touches. Because that's where we get in trouble. Is LeBron standing at the top of the key with the ball, trying to play hero ball, and everybody else is standing around looking at him, was the issue. So I did see a little change in that, although against Sacramento, he went crazy in that last game. He went for like 31 points. So
you know the crazy part to all of this here is our teams are at the top of the Pacific right now, and we're only a half game apart from each other.
Yeah,
God, we suck in age. I tell you that,
bad, man. It's not good.
It's terrible here, man. But I mean, we predicted it at the beginning of the year. Our teams were going to be no more than a playing team, and the Warriors even said, "Ha, we'll show you a good start," and then proceeded to just. They proceeded to look like they're the New Orleans Saints right now. They're the New Orleans Saints of the NBA right now. They went hot. We were like, oh man, this may be a legitimate team. We're 20 games in. This may be the team we are.
Yeah.
We suck so bad we had to go get Dennis Schroeder, okay? Yeah. And we're still not done making deals.
Dude, and then the game after where you go play the Grizzlies was an absolute dumpster fire.
And that's why your team and my team have something in common. We got our asses beat by 50 points this season already.
And that was earlier in the season for us, okay? We beat the Grizzlies, all right? We just beat them, all right? But yes, you're right. We did take 2 bad losses to a team that we had no business taking these losses to. Now give the Grizzlies their credit. They're a good team. Okay, they are not.
I hate that.
They are a good team. They are in the top 5, I believe. I got to go look at the standings.
Yes, they are. They are.
Yeah, so they're not a bad team. But it's just, it's just. I'm glad we have football right now because trying to keep up with the ups and downs of these teams will drive you insane. But looking at the next games, here we go. Here we go, B. We're playing you guys on Christmas because why not, right? This is always what happens. And we're playing at Chase Center. So if you want to, for Christmas, you can buy your loved one a $1,200 ticket to Chase Center
to watch the old-timers play.
Steph Curry better come and play because that game against the Grizzlies, he looked like he wanted nothing to do with Memphis or the state of Tennessee. He did not show up.
He did. He showed up against the Timberwolves. He got his revenge in that.
I said Tennessee, Memphis. Yeah. Timberwolves. Yeah, okay. And then after that we play the Kings, and then we got the Cavaliers, and then the Trailblazers.
You taking an L against the Cavs.
Yeah, but we're pretty much at home. We play the next 5 games at home except for a road game against the Warriors, which is in San Francisco. That's like a 30-minute flight. So I think this is a good run and an opportunity for the Lakers to, these next 5 games, I'm going to say that they go at least 3-2 because that's really what you're looking for. They just got to win more games than they lose, obviously. And I think they've got a good opportunity to do that.
I'm just waiting for the Warriors to send Jonathan Kuminga to the Heat so we can obtain Jimmy Butler. Because that's what's going to end up happening.
You really think you're going to get Jimmy Butler, huh?
Bro, after that 50-point ass whooping, and even with Dennis Schroeder and things still haven't gotten a little better, Mike Dunleavy, there's a whole reason why Jonathan Kuminga is starting. It's not because he's a good player. It definitely isn't. It's, look, this is our best trade asset. What can we get for him? They are basically showcasing him to get him on the trade market here. And I guarantee you, knowing that the Warriors are in talks with Jimmy Butler, them being on his top 2 list compared to the Phoenix Suns, the Warriors have more to offer than the Suns do for that trade to happen. And their biggest asset will be Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah.
You may even need to put Andrew Wiggins into that. I think you may be able to hold on to him in regards to that, but you already sent 4 second-round draft picks over to Brooklyn. All right, you can find a way to make this Kaminga for Butler and maybe another draft pick and call it a day. I something
Dude,
tells me the Warriors are about to do this.
can you imagine Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler in a
And
practice?
Dennis Schroeder.
Jimmy
And
Butler
Dennis
is
Schroeder.
he's crazy. You know, he's crazy. There are stories out there about Jimmy that we all are familiar with, and he's an eccentric dude. And I'm just
Oh
curious
yeah.
to see how that lines up with Draymond.
My
Who's
my
gonna
favorite
tell
Jimmy
Jimmy Butler
Butler
what to do?
my favorite Jimmy Butler story that's out there. And I think T what's his name? Jeff
Jeff
Teague.
T. Yeah,
Jeff Teague told this story where he was on the Timberwolves, and instead of Jimmy Butler going to play with the first unit, he told the organization that this
yeah,
team sucks so bad. He went to go play for the second unit
yeah. I
and
know. Yep.
proceeded to whoop that first unit's ass. And he was like, I'm out after that.
Yeah, got
Proceeded to go
traded.
to Philly and did the exact same thing in Philly.
Yeah,
He went to go play for the second unit and smoked the first unit. Dude, these Jimmy Butler stories are great. And if you haven't watched Starting Five, you get an understanding of who Jimmy Butler is and that you really start to enjoy him a little more. I I think the Warriors are really, really going to throw basically almost the table to bring Jimmy Butler. Dude, this defense has to get better, man. I'm tired of watching teams. I'm tired of watching the Warriors get these 13, 15-point leads, right?
yeah.
Scoring is not a problem. It's stopping the other team.
Right. Yeah.
It, they just don't, and that's where they're going to start drawing the line because Jonathan Kuminga is not doing anything defensively. Dennis Schroeder is going to provide some defense for you. Jimmy Butler is going to provide a big step up in defense for you. So you may have to do this.
Yeah.
Bye, Kuminga.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, man. It's definitely going to be. It would be a splash of a trade if they are able to get Jimmy Butler and Jimmy Butler can be healthy for a majority of the season. It's going to be a positive effect on the team. Now, of course, my questions are always when things get tense, what happens in that one practice? Because he might do the same thing. So
Oh man.
he is a
Oh
guy
my God.
going to challenge you and challenge the coaching and challenge the players. And now Kerr's been around for a while, so I don't see it being an issue with Kerr. I think Kerr doesn't mind after dealing with Draymond having a guy that's going to be up in your face. But I'm curious how those two guys play together. Maybe they become best buddies, but if they don't become best buddies, you might be looking at something
I
very
could I
volatile.
could tell I could tell you this right now. Ain't nobody starting stuff on the court with them. I promise you that because it ain't
Yeah.
gonna go too far with those two.
Yeah, if they can
Um,
figure it out, yeah. Now you got two dogs, two dogs on your team that are
whew,
not going to let anybody get 2 cent at both the at on the back court and front court. You have two guys that are going to be dogs on that. So I can see where you could look at that as a Warrior fan and say, sign me up, because your boy Wiggins he's up and down. He's very blase. Just he's not a guy that has a lot of grit. And I'm not trying to be mean. I think he's a great player, but he's not a guy that kind of brings out that animosity. He's very relaxed, chill,
yeah,
and
he's not gonna be that guy
sometimes
who talks.
yeah,
You never
sometimes
see
he
him
just
today,
takes
bro.
off games because stuff's going on in his life, whatever. But it's just I think it wouldn't be a bad fit for you guys. Now the Lakers, on the other hand, I'll talk about this real quickly. The Lakers can't trade anything because one, we're not willing. Here's the problem with the Lakers in the trade. We're not willing to give up future assets because we know LeBron isn't going to play much longer. So it's stupid of us to trade
Yeah,
Austin Reeves or Rui Hachimura or Dalton or any of our young talent away, because if we do that and LeBron retires after this season, we don't have anything.
yep.
And we're stuck with that
And you ain't
guy.
got no draft picks either.
Right, exactly. So we're basically stuck with whatever we traded for in Anthony Davis and no support staff. So the Lakers are in a really bad spot. They can't do anything, and this is why they're being held at it. They're being held for ransom until Braun retires, basically. Until he's gone, they're kind of stuck. They can't make a big move, even if they wanted to. And if you're a
Yeah.
good GM, you're not going to do that. You're not going to say, "Yeah, guys, let's go on. Let's get Zach LaVine." No, I don't need. He's overpaid. He's not going to change. He's not going to tip the needle in your favor.
He ain't that good.
Jimmy Butler's not going to come here because the Heat are going to ask for an arm and a leg in order to get him to LA. Because Pat Riley sure in hell is not going to trade him to LA without a lot. So I just don't see. I don't see. They're going to have to make some small trades. Dorian Finney-Smith. We talked about C.J. McCollum. So guys that are on the edges are the guys that the Lakers can try to go out and get, but we won't be making any splashes. That's for sure.
Yep. All right. We are in overtime now. You ready to take an NFL overtime moment here?
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it here. All right. The NBA has announced their plans because the All-Star game, let's face it, is crap. I don't know about you, but watching it last year completely was boring. All right. I didn't like watching a layup line.
The festivities are more funner than the actual
They
game.
are.
Yeah.
We might as well just watch Inside the NBA all game. I'd rather watch.
Yeah. I love it. Please, yeah. Bring Kevin Hart back on. Do all the little random crap. I'm down.
So the commissioner has now said, if you guys do not want to try, we will change this format. Now, no one likes the fact that we have. I'm different. I like the NBA Cup. It brings a little different, a different flavor to it. This year's NBA Cup kind of sucked. You had the Thunder versus the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks won it. Did you see the banner that they unveiled? I know I'm getting off track.
Wait,
did you see the banner?
Oh, for Milwaukee.
All it said was 2024 NBA Cup champion. Like no design to it. It just had words on it. It was quite comical.
I'm sure Giannis was like, here, Dame, you can touch this one.
I guarantee you his brother. I guarantee you Giannis's brother cried because he thought he was part of that too. The most unathletic person in the organization.
The Nass probably got the trophy.
He's probably drooling over that thing.
He's carrying that thing around right now.
So the NBA said, all right, you guys don't want to try. Now we're going to give you a different format here. Now we are going into a mini tournament with 4 teams and 3 games. 2 teams will meet in the semifinal here. Obviously, East and West will be determined here. So they're going to split all the All-Stars into 3 teams. The 4th team will be the winner of the Castrol Rising Stars. So basically, we're going to have the G League competing against the rest of the NBA in a tournament-style all-star game. Here's the kicker now.
Okay.
The 4 teams participating will compete for a prize pool of $1.8 million, with each player on the championship-winning team receiving $125,000, each player on the second-place team receiving $50,000, and you third and fourth place losers will receive $25,000 each. This is stupid. Thank you guys for not trying. Now we get this crap. How do you feel about it?
Well, man, I don't know if that really works, man. I don't know if they're gonna run these games in over a 3-day span, basically, because the damn All-Star it's only a weekend.
So it's gonna be they haven't really announced how the point system is going to work. All 3 games are gonna take place on Sunday, though.
Oh my god, yeah, they're trying to create more product, which I understand. But I think what they should do is they should pivot and focus on the events prior to. I think that's where the money is. They can try to make that as great as everybody knows the game sucks. The Sunday game is crap. It's just nobody competes in it anymore. Nobody's competed in the thing since Kobe retired. Nobody. There are very few folks that are gonna sit and watch that entire game. It's going to be like 205 to 195 or something like that.
That was ridiculous. I think that's where they drew the line when they were scoring 200 points.
But now the 3-point contest, the dunk contest, remember we had the best shooter contest last year where we brought the WNBA into it. There's a lot of opportunity to build on some of this stuff. And I think they'd be better served in making sure that the dunk contest has people we actually want to see, because I think that's a highlight game. The 3-point contest has done very well. The competition that they created with Sabrina and
Steph Curry,
that was pretty cool. They can do more of that stuff if they can be a little bit more creative, and I think they should focus their money on that. Let the Sunday game rot. I mean, because it's not going to get any better. You can try to make it better, but the truth of the matter is, if I'm a let's say 5 to 10 year vet, and I've been in this league long enough and I've made a few All-Stars, I don't care anymore. If you want to spice it up, how about this? Put first time, take guys that are first time All-Stars, if you can find enough of them, or guys that have only, and try to and pit them against some of your older guys or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, they got to find a way to mix it up a little bit. The East and West I think is the best way to go. We try to do the game where we pick other teams and.
I thought that was just fine.
Yeah,
I
it
thought it
wasn't
worked just
bad. It
fine.
wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. But it's just like the effort just isn't there. And I don't know
No.
if trying to throw money at the problem will necessarily work. You know, I don't know if that's gonna.
The only reason why the money works in the NBA Cup is because you got guys on the bench who
Yeah, right.
aren't making that kind of money, right? So there's a little more incentive. In the All-Star game, it's your highest paid athletes, it's your biggest superstars are already making a lot of money. That total should not. I mean, they make that on shoe deals for the most part here, so I really don't think it draws them. Although you bring up a good point with that 3-point shooting contest, you include Caitlin Clark into this now.
Yeah,
You include Caitlin Clark, you bring Sabrina back.
Sabrina back. Yeah,
You obviously Steph Curry is going to be the mayor of this All-Star game, so he's going to be in that 3-point shootout. You find somebody else to pair them up with, and let's just say you go Steph Curry and Sabrina against Caitlin Clark, and who's another sniper in this league right now? I'm not saying Dame Lillard because that's an insult. Um, who would be a good backup to that?
yeah. Well, you're talking about the NBA side.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, in my opinion, the best thing you can do is you want to pit Clay against Steph. I mean, Clay against Steph. I
Well,
think,
oh, so we do Klay Thompson and Caitlin Clark
yeah,
versus
yeah,
Sabrina
yeah,
and
yeah.
Steph
That's
Curry.
what you do.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
NBA, listen to us. We got an idea for you.
yeah. I think that's the way to go. I mean, Clay obviously just left after this year. It's an opportunity to bring him back to the Chase Center. You have a
Again,
lot of mixed emotions, and you get to couple these guys. I think you put Caitlin with Clay, and you put Steph with Sabrina, and you say, okay, let's have a shoot off. And I think that's the way to go, man. I think they should, like I said, be creative with the events because that's really what people are watching. And they really have to make sure they find a way to up. They got to up the ante on the dunk contest too, man. They got to get some more high flyers in there, more creativity.
you
Do
know
something.
what? I say you do a $3 million purse in that dunk
Oh
contest.
yeah, for sure.
And then we're getting, who knows, maybe LeBron gets his old ass out there.
Well, like you said, right? There are a lot of young guys out there, and most of the guys that got bounced in they step are younger, right? It's not going to be
Yep.
LeBron. LeBron can't jump no more. I mean, he could. He can still get up there, but he can't not for a dunk contest. But there's a lot of young guys out there that wouldn't mind making $2 million, $3 million just to jump out of the gym. So I would definitely like to see that. And the fact that we've never seen a guy like John Morant in the thing. I mean, there are lots of guys. There are lots of great athletes in the NBA. Obviously, we just need to get them out there somehow, and I think that's what the NBA's got to figure out.
You know what they should bring back is the big man dribbling skill competition.
Oh
Bring
yeah,
that
yeah.
back. I
The
would
bigs
love
versus
to see
the guards versus
Yep.
the bigs.
Yep.
Yep.
I would love to see something like that.
Oh yeah, Jokic is gonna kill it.
Oh, of course, he's Jokic. Jesus. All right. Second to last overtime drive here. We have the college football playoffs that we were so excited to get.
Yeah,
Went from 4 teams to 12 teams. It jumped up violently to allow teams with a better opportunity to give a shot at the playoffs. And well, Friday and Saturday absolutely sucked. Friday we had Indiana and Notre Dame.
Dumpster. It
Boring.
was very boring.
And then Saturday we got kicked off with Penn State versus SMU. Boring.
That was a sad game.
Texas and Clemson probably gave us.
And that's only because Clemson made a run towards the end of the game.
Yeah. And then the hype behind Ohio State and Tennessee, SEC, Big Ten, 2 teams that have never played each other before. Ohio State came in and absolutely dragged the Tennessee Volunteers up and down the field so much. It was disgusting here. T, I know you don't watch a lot of college football. I know you had your eyes on these games. I'll tell you how I really feel, but we'd be here forever. I want your input on this.
Yeah, well, it's pretty simple. Those extra 4 teams did nothing for you. I mean, it did get you an extra weekend of football, or extra week of football, but it wasn't very entertaining. Not to mention that the NFL was also on the same day, which was a pain in the butt, right? So you had 2 really big games between KC and Houston, the Ravens and the Steelers. on at the same time. So what was the point? I'm not even gonna watch this because if I flick back and forward, I had the dual screen up so I could see both games. And by the time these games got out of hand, which was like the first half, I'm like, forget it. I'm just gonna watch the Kansas City game. Or I'm just gonna watch the Ravens game. What's the point of me watching a team get their butt handed to them? The NFL is becoming extremely dominant. And we talked about this earlier. They are starting to crap on everybody's sports. Okay, they're taking away from college football now. They're showing up on Saturdays, random Thursdays, 2 games on Monday. They're everywhere.
Black Friday.
Right. It's like they're on Christmas. There's a game tomorrow. There's 2 games on Christmas. There's another one on Saturday and Sunday. The NFL is trying to steal your attention no matter what sport you watch. And I think the NFL, good for them, but man, they need to calm down just a little bit.
Pump the brakes, man.
Just a little. We can't even watch basketball. Basketball is wondering why it doesn't have any eyes on their games. It's because the NFL is on. That's why. Like
the NFL, watch this. Wait till the NFL does like a random ass Wednesday game for no goddamn reason. Hey, guess what, guys? We're playing Wednesday. What?
I'm telling you.
Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday, Tuesday.
Every day.
We're going to have an NFL game once a week pretty much here. Dude. Can you imagine coming off a bye and then like, all right, go play Tuesday night now?
Yeah, that's what's happening. Yeah, both the Ravens and the Chiefs played Saturday and play on
all
Wednesday.
All 4 teams played Saturday are now playing on
that's
Tuesday.
Right, yes. So
or Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday.
So that's a very quick turnaround.
And then, so just to kind of finish off with the college football bracket, we get the top, basically the Final Four now.
Yeah.
Or you want to call it the Elite Eight, whatever you want to call it. You got Texas versus Arizona State on New Year's Day. You have Oregon and Ohio State at the Rose Bowl, which is personal to me. That's a near dear stadium to my heart. If you guys have never checked out the Rose Bowl, put that game on Saturday on New Year's Day. There's nothing like the pageantry of the Rose Bowl there. The game that I am interested in is going to be Penn State and Boise State at the Fiesta Bowl in Arizona. Boise State, obviously, the guy who I think won the Heisman, Genty, will be playing in that game. So I'm hoping he makes a statement to show that. I can't wait to watch Travis Hunter on New Year's Day. Oh, wait, he's not playing on New Year's Day. And then Notre Dame and Georgia will close out the night in the All-State Sugar Bowl. So it's going to be some pretty good games. Let's see if we get some better games that time around here.
Oh, we will. We will definitely. I'm actually I'm looking forward to, as you mentioned, the Ohio State Oregon. I think that's going to be the game to really keep an eye on, and I'll look out for this Boise State kid you keep talking about.
I'm telling you, man, watch him.
I'll watch him.
Fantastic running back.
I just want to see Notre Dame lose. I don't know why I don't like him.
I don't like him either. I'm tired of seeing those stupid golden helmets.
What was that idiot that was their top quarterback? What was the guy's name?
Brady Quinn.
Remember that? That guy was the
You remember Manti Te'o, who had a girlfriend but didn't exist?
That's right. I do remember that. It was actually a dude. That was a dude. Dude like this. Got him. That was terrible.
Oh man. And then to end the night here, unfortunately, we do need to break some bad news here. Ricky Henderson, Oakland's own, graduated from Oakland Technical High School, passed away Saturday at the age of, I think it was 63?
65, I think it said.
65 from pneumonia. No one, I didn't, to be honest with you, I had no idea he even was dealing with that there. He kept it very personal here. Born and raised he was born in Chicago, actually on December 25th, Christmas Day.
Wow.
The baseball world was blessed with Ricky Henderson. Obviously, he is known for his popping his collar when hitting a home run, the flashiness he brought, but the biggest thing he was known for was stealing bases. All-time base stealer at 1,406, maybe a record that never gets broken here. Taj, growing up in the Bay, both of us know how big Ricky Henderson was to the city of Oakland here. It just sucks that not only are the A's leaving, but now they lose another legend here. The field in Oakland was named after Ricky Henderson as well. That's how much he meant to the Oakland area here. Growing up as an A's fan, for you living in Oakland, what kind of impact does this have on you?
Yeah, well, man, it's always tough to see whenever the great ones pass on. Now, Ricky Henderson, of course, a little bit before me, but of course, the impact that the Oakland A's had as a whole on the city of Oakland cannot be understated. I mean, they were a championship ball club for many years. Ricky Henderson was a part of that, and is well known around the city of Oakland. So it's always cool to have homegrown folks like
Yes.
Ricky Henderson and Dave Stewart, and these guys that grew up in the area end up playing for the teams that are in the city that they were raised in. Are always great, great, great stories. So it's always sad to see great ones leave, and to also have that happen in the same year that the Oakland A's are also leaving. It just means the end really of an era overall. So it's just kind of unfortunate to hear about that. We of course, our condolences to his family and everything. And yeah, man, it's you again. Like I said, when the great ones go on, all you can do is you just gotta take some time and remember that the best players in the world are not the ones that you see right now. Okay, there's
Yeah.
always there were greater players before. So yeah,
Yeah, and nickname Man of Steel, and not Steel, but Steal,
there
because
you go.
that's how prolific that guy was with stealing bags. For all you young ones, since you're already on YouTube watching our show, go watch his highlights. That man was very hard to pick off here, and if he was stealing bags in this day and age, where the bags are the size of pillows and all these rules, he probably be having 100 steal seasons here. That's how dominant this man was in an era where it was very hard to steal a bag. So Ricky Henderson, may you rest in peace, man. Hopefully you and Willie Mays are having a good conversation in the heavens above, talking baseball and what it was.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, on that note, folks, thanks again for joining us. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back next Friday with another Pick 'em Dummies. And actually, we're gonna have to squeeze some more football talk in because after Christmas, there's gonna be like 3 more games. So
Yeah.
we'll do our best. We're gonna do our best here and keep up with the NFL. And again, if you appreciate what we're putting out there, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. Just press it, and then hit that notification button as well. We appreciate y'all's time. Y'all have a wonderful evening.